When you land in Trinidad in late October, you don't need a calendar to tell you Diwali is near. You feel it in the beat of tassa drums rolling through the sugar belt, in the scent of oil lamps mixing with Caribbean night air, and radio stations playing bhajans. The island begins to hum with a rhythm that feels both familiar and far away. Here, Diwali isn't borrowed. It has taken root, reshaped by the soil, the sounds, and the spirit of the Caribbean. Hi, I am Ruchika Arora. The story of Diwali in Trinidad begins not with a goddess, but with a ship. In 1845, the Fatal Razak sailed from Calcutta with the first group of Indian indentured laborers bound for Trinidad. They carried almost nothing: a few utensils, a handful of seeds, their traditions, including Diwali. Few know that Fatal Razak itself was an Arab-owned ship, originally named Fatal Rozak, meaning victory of God. It was the first vessel to bring Indian laborers to the Caribbean, marking the start of a migration that would reshape the island's culture forever. On the sugar estates, Diwali was quiet. A few lamps lit in barrack yards. It is said that women once used coconut shells as diyas when clay wasn't available, filling them with oil drawn from local caste plants. The festival of Diwali slowly spread from sugarcane fields to barracks and then to villages known as Chaguanas, Felicity, and Coava. By the time the indenture ended in 1917, Diwali had already settled into the heart of the island. In 1972, the government declared Diwali a national holiday. What had once been a private observance became part of Trinidad and Tobago's shared heritage. It was the only non-Christian religious festival recognized as a national holiday at the time. A decade later, in 1986, the National Council of Indian Culture launched the first Diwali Nagar, the City of Lights, an annual festival in Chaguanas. It transformed the festival into a cultural fairground, which is a carnival yet spiritual. The first event held was expected to attract 10,000 visitors. On the first night, more than 23,000 people showed up. It was a sign that Indian heritage had found a permanent place in the Trinidadian identity. By 1991, the government allocated 15 acres of former sugarcane land to create a permanent site for Diwali Nagar. Today, Diwali Nagar is a 10-day hub of performances, exhibitions, lectures, and markets. Over 100,000 people visit each year. For many, Diwali Nagar isn't just a festival, it's a homecoming, a reminder of how far their ancestors has traveled. Late Pandit Janki Prasad Sharma, a pioneer of Hindu religion and culture in Trinidad and Tobago, is credited with having begun the Diwali celebrations on the Caribbean island. He was also responsible for building several temples for the Indian migrants, ensuring that generations of Indo-Trinidadians remained connected to their roots. His efforts laid the spiritual and cultural foundation that continues to sustain the Indian community today. That journey of progress is also reflected in figures like Kamla Prasad Bisor, the country's first female Prime Minister and of Indian origin, whose rise symbolizes how far the community has come. Not far from Chaguanas stands the Temple in the Sea, built on a man-made island at Waterloo, Karapachayama. Before a walkway was added, there was no clear way to reach it. Visitors seemed to walk on water to get there. The temple holds deep significance and is considered a national treasure. Its construction began in 1947, led single-handedly by an indentured laborer named Seda Sadhu, who came to Trinidad in 1907 and passed away before it was completed. Diwali is a festival that brings families and communities together. During this time, parks and community gardens are often decorated with beautiful bamboo structures that hold the glowing diyas. The art of bending bamboo is an old tradition, and over the years, artisans have created more elaborate designs. What were once simple frames for lamps have now become stunning structures that light up the entire neighborhood, a symbol of the community's creativity and devotion. Schools, businesses, and public offices take part in lighting ceremonies. Neighborhoods decorate homes and yards with rows of diyas. Families exchange sweets, attend prayers, and share meals. It's common to see Christians, Muslims, and Hindus celebrating together. For older generations, Diwali recalls ancestors who preserved culture under difficult conditions on plantations. They remember women who maintained rituals with nothing but memory, and men who built small shrines out of tin and bamboo. For younger generations, Diwali connects them to their roots while allowing adaptations. Handmade diyas sit alongside electric lamps. Traditional songs share space with contemporary music. The core practices of lighting lamps, offering prayers, sharing sweets remain, but the celebration evolves. Today, India and Trinidad share more than a historical link. Cultural exchanges, film festivals, and university collaborations keep the connection alive. Indian scholars and artists visit Diwali Nagar. Trinidadian performers travel to India to represent a Caribbean voice in classical art forms. It's a two-way conversation now, a relationship that proves how traditions evolve without losing their roots. On Diwali night, each flame seems to say something quietly, that journeys don't always end in loss. Sometimes they end in renewal. Diwali came to Trinidad across the dark waters of the Kala Pani, carried in the memory of those who refused to let it fade. Nearly 2 centuries later, it burns brightly than ever, not as a festival from somewhere else, but as a light the island has made its own. Thank you.